Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. We are doing a small mini guide on Kayle today. One of the new champions, both Kayle and Morgana. Now we're going to do a Morgana guide and we're going to do a Dr. Mundo rework guide because there's loads of new things on patch 2.6. But Kayle, first of all, thanks to G2A sponsoring the channel. Reference link in the description below. What do I think about Kayle? I've played her quite a few times in ranked now. What do I think about her as a champion? I think that she is kind of weak, only in the sense that I think in low elo you're probably going to find that she's really strong, but I found in high elo when you're versus a good Baron laner, because there isn't really any other lanes that Kayle can play properly, when you're versus a good Baron laner, they really take advantage of your weak early game. I played versus a Riven and a Jace and someone else, and all of them are very good at exploiting your weak early game. You've got to remember that Kayle, until level 5, is a melee champion with ranged champions' health and defenses. So she is incredibly squishy and very easy to 1v1. And Kayle really doesn't have any capabilities to deal in a 1v1 until she is level 5 at least. So you just have to take that into account. Kayle is an incredibly squishy and terrible champion up until level 5. And in high elo, that's quite destructive because, you know, Baron laners will zone you from the wave. They'll stop you from getting experience. They'll crash the wave into tower, and if their jungler is smart, they'll dive you when you're still level 2 or level 3. So there is a clear issue with Kayle, in my opinion, in that sense. But first of all, let's talk a bit about the leveling priority. My leveling priority would be like this: ultimate, skill 1, skill 3, skill 2. That is the leveling priority for Kayle, in my opinion. Okay. So that's what I would say. Ultimate, level 1, first skill, third skill, second skill. That would be my leveling priority for Kayle. Itemization. Nash's Tooth into Wit's End. I do that. Like to pick up a stasis enchant because, again, you are quite vulnerable, especially when you don't have your ultimate up. Into Rabadons, into Void Staff, into Infinity Orb. And those two can switch around depending on how much magic resist you're facing. But this is probably the item that a lot of people would be like, well, why are you including that here? I really like this for Kayle. It's on-hit damage. Kayle is all about on-hit damage. Some people might say, well, what about Blade of the Ruined King? But you don't deal a huge amount of physical damage as Kayle. But I think like this is a nice little combo. Nash's Tooth into Wit's End. And then obviously the rest of it is like full AP. But that would be my preferred build for Kayle. Conqueror, you are a champion that only stacks. You're all about longer team fights, and Conqueror is the play. I like Brutal. Gathering Storm is okay, but at the end of the day, you don't need the extra help from Gathering Storm. You're Kayle, for God's sake. Like, you get enough scaling as it is. You could probably replace this with something like Triumph as well if you wanted to. Just like this, because it allows you to farm a little bit more effectively in the early game. Adaptive Carapace, because again, going low, you just want a little bit extra resistance, and then obviously you're going to go for the honey fruit. I like to run a very defensive setup with Kayle. I think it's a barrier Baron lane every single game, mainly because you're so squishy and so weak. Do I think Kayle's good? No, not really. I think once people kind of learn how to survive with her, and maybe if you get the proper support from your team, she can be super strong in the late game. But I just think she's too weak early game. She really loses control of the lane from level 1. Versus bad Baron laners, you might find that that's okay, but versus good Baron laners, I think you might find that Kayle is a little weak to play in the laning phase. But she's fun and she scales incredibly well. And if you can have a game like I'm going to show you, she can work. All right, this is going to be a bit of a fun one.
Grant me the strength to forge by flame a world.
Let's see how we go. It's into a Riven, so it's going to be a terrible matchup. We have to play really safe, but that's fine. Do I still go Rod?
I shall go.
Yeah, still fine. Yeah, still fine. I need to turn off my chat. I hate having chat on. I've realized I've become really toxic because I've been so frustrated with the end of season.
Only the divine may judge.
So versus this Riven, you kind of just have to farm with Q, if I'm honest with you.
I am the consequence of your actions.
Because I can't really go toe to toe with her in a melee. Fine. We have a bit of a heal, but the heal is really pathetic, if I'm honest with you. Okay, she's not got that for a few minutes. You just want to kind of want to spam with your Q as much as you can. It's fine. I have a heal. It's very expensive heal, but I have a heal. It's a pretty honestly, we have a pretty terrible time in the laning phase, but that's okay. Especially versus a Ribbon, who's a bit of a like a lane kingdom god, you know. Forgotten what this ability does. Oh. Sorry, I was just trying to farm. I can't really set up a gank very easily on Kayle, you know. Okay, she's still pretty low, actually.
Emotions are a weakness. Kneel before the light.
Okay. Got him, but I lost the minions.
You have slain an enemy. You have been slain.
Got him, but I lost the minions. Actually, how much for Stinger? I can wait for that, right? I can wait for that.
Truth, guide my sword.
First blood, though, I take it because I get the gold, and we now have ranged basic attacks. So that's the terrible part of my laning phase, kind of gone now. So I've got ranged basic attacks. The terrible part of my laning phase is gone, and now I just need to kind of like chill and scale.
Emotions are Bottom turret is under attack.
Kayle's one of those picks that you don't really want to be like.
Wings of fire, hope ascends.
You don't really want to be rotating into objectives. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah. Well, I don't have any. I don't have any bloody mana. Okay, well I should have warded. I just unlucky timing really. I was trying to abuse her too much under the laning in the lane. Oh dear. Well, at least I still have my ultimate and Kayle doesn't. Okay. No, I'm Kayle. At least I still have my ultimate and Gragas doesn't. A little bit awkward though. Because now I'm probably not going to win the lane particularly hard. Kayle's early feels just as bad as it does on PC, if I'm honest with you. Oh, for goodness sake.
Your team has slain the dragon. The enemy team has slain the Rift Herald. Where there is evil, I shall.
You're going to try and come to me, I think?
Double kill. Enemy slain. Emotions are a weakness. Ally slain. Shut down.
Fine, got a heal. I'm going to get this.
Ally slain.
But they just went a little bit too ham there, didn't they?
First turret destroyed. You have slain
Okay.
an enemy.
Not a problem. That's why I still have my ult. It's on a ridiculously long cooldown, by the way. If I can hit level 9, though, we're really happy. Nice. Go back. We're not quite level 9. It'll be another wave yet. But we've got Nashers, which is really nice. I'm not going to go Leandries like this suggests. What I'm actually going to go is Wit's End. wherever physical wits end is. There we go. And then we're going to also go this. Because there's a lot of AD. My god, they are just... Can my bot lane really does need to rotate. I'm not really sure I can do anything here.
Turret lost. Heal by fire. Top turret is under attack.
What are my team doing, man?
Emotions are a weakness.
Fine.
Slain an enemy.
Can you not, please?
Heal by fire.
Fine. Yes, team. Yes, team. Okay. So I quite like the idea of this on hit build. I'm also going to go stasis eventually. I'm also going to go stasis eventually. Yeah, that was I luckily had my ult up just at the right moment. Literally had my ult up just at the right moment there. Do you know that Kayle used to still be able to attack? She used to still be able to attack. Oh god, I should probably rotate here, but I kind of want to not. I don't know, man. Like you have no tower. You know what you're doing. Let's go back and get Wit's End. And then I think it's Rabadon's time.
On wings of fire, hope ascends.
I think it's Magic, and then it's Rabadon's time. I have my ult, so we're in a good spot for this team fight, I think. As long as the Caitlyn doesn't get like soloed.
Where there is evil, I shall go. Only the divine.
Got him.
Rampage. Shut down. On wings of fire, hope ascends.
Almost level 13 as well, which is like Kayle's insane power spike. Kayle's one of the few champions in this game that just turbo spikes with like levels.
You are unstoppable. Your team has slain the Rift Herald. Only the divine may judge.
She's given up.
Executed.
I hate when people do that, actually. How long till level 13? No jungle camps? What's going on?
Only the divine may judge.
They're off. Okay, she wants to fight. I got Rabadons though. I really want to go get Rabadons, honestly.
The celestial God.
It's kind of sad to see that, honestly. Oh, they've surrendered. There we go. I like this build for Kayle, by the way. I think this build for Kayle is pretty good. Pretty happy with it.